Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Turin here with another Warhammer Total War live battlecast. In this particular game, we're going to play the Empire against the Wood Elves. So we're actually going to get FRANZ on Deathclaw, and do I want to get the Blood Roar? That might not be terrible, actually, against the Wood Elves. Although some of their units, they just have such high leadership, their infantry, so maybe not. We're also going to get a Jade Wizard, which helps a lot with Karl, because Karl, again, one of his downsides is that he can't heal or carry a potion. So the fact that the Jade Wizard can cast, let's go ahead and look. Where is that? Do I make sure I have that ability? Got to make sure I got it. Regrowth is quite good. It heals quite a bit and also gives a nice physical resistance. Although the Wood Elves, most of their damage is magic, I suppose, but still, I feel like that's pretty good. So we're going to get a front line of Swordsmen and Sigmar Sons, and we're going to have a little bit of fun today, guys. We're also going to get the Tattersouls, and then we're going to get some Flagellants, which I think will actually be decent against Eternal Guards. We'll see. And then we'll keep these guys, obviously, to take the missile fire in the front line. We got Sigmar Sons there, so it's going to be a little bit janky. On top of that, though, we don't really have anything to deal with Treekin, so that's kind of our one issue now. And let's go ahead and take a look. So we're at, let's see, I'm not even going to try and say that, but that's the map we're on. I could get some cannons. I hate defending the cannons or having to deal with that. I feel like it's kind of a liability. We're going to go ahead and give it a try. We're not going to get any, traditional crossbowmen or troops like that. I think the two cannons should be fine. If he has Durthu or other units like that, it should do the trick. Knights of the Blazing Sun, pretty good. The flame damage is pretty solid. But again, I really do like the Demogryph Knights. Let's go ahead. The anti-large and causeless terror might be okay. So we get the Royal Altdorf Griffites, and then I feel like we have enough room for one more heroic unit. Let's just get a Warrior Priest. Why not? We'll put him on a mount here. Do we want to put him on a mount? Let's actually just keep him on the ground. Actually, we can mount. We can put him on a mount, I think. That should be fine. Then we'll get rid of some of these abilities. I don't like the personal augmentations. I feel like they're not that good. So that targets self. This gives them, what does this do? Yeah, so 50 miss cast chance. Okay, that's pretty good. Benediction is nice leadership. This does a little bit of magic damage, which, yeah, it should be okay. And then also the Shield of Faith, which does target all nearby troops. So on top of that, we're going to actually just chevron these guys up. And all right. So the one thing that's kind of concerning right now is all I have in the air is FRANZ. So if he has a pretty, potent air force, it's a bit of a risk. So part of me wants to put Karl on the ground or maybe cut a Warrior Priest. Let's see here. So if we cut the Warrior Priest and then this guy and then just give him a buddy up in the air, I think that I feel a little bit safer now. Although it is a bummer losing out on that Warrior Priest in the front line. I felt like that'd be pretty cool. I think this should do the trick. The Royal Altdorf Griffites are going to be pretty strong, but the one issue is they're going to take a lot of focus fire from Glade Guards, probably with armor piercing shafts. But we'll see how it goes, and these guys will do pretty massive damage to large targets. So we got chevrons on our front line, and we're ready to party. So let's do it, guys. Let's get down and dirty and see how this goes. Worst case scenario, I just leave the Royal Altdorf Griffites behind the cannons, and if he tries any funny business, tries to land anything on them, whatever, I'll have something to deal with it. So Swordsmen are going to be good. Sigmar Sons. I have a lot of unbreakable units, actually. I have Sigmar Sons and then 3 groups of Flagellants. Flagellants should do good against the Eternal Guards. Eternal Guards have pretty high defensive stats. I think 40 plus melee defense. So perhaps it won't be the best, but I still think their high damage against low armored targets is going to be really good. So we'll see how it pans out. And Swordsmen, they actually do really well in this matchup. I like them quite a bit. And we do have the AoE healing. So if Karl isn't taking a beatdown, I can use the nice heals on them. So we'll see how it goes. One thing I am missing is halberdiers, things like that. Yeah, it kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I feel like halberdiers would have been good because if he just does a tree man Death Star, I'm gonna have a lot of problems dealing with it. But again, I'm just putting all my marbles in the fact that he hopefully has a low armor kind of traditional elf army. Although I do have the 2 cannons, so 2 cannons are going to be pretty darn good here, hopefully. And if he brings Durthu, that's definitely going to be rough. If I'm not mistaken, this is a relatively open field map. That's another thing. I didn't recall what this map looked like, so it's a bit of a going in blind. Hopefully it's just a giant open field. Yeah, okay, perfect. We're good to go, guys. We're ready to party. This is what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. So we'll get these guys here. We'll put the 2 cannons right up here on the hill. Should be fine. And let's just set up our swordsman line. So the swordsman I'm obviously probably going to send in first, but if he just has Eternal Guards, I don't mind just sending in the Flagellants first and just having them go wild. So we'll just put them back here, and if need be, we'll just kind of switch their formation. I don't want them in the front initially because if he does have a ton of missile units, I want the swords to take those first few volleys. So we'll put this Air Force here. We'll put the wizard here with this group. We'll toggle him with that army. We'll put these guys here and put the 2 cannons right over at an angle just like that. That should be fine. So we'll probably split him up a little bit because he is probably going to have the Arrows of Caron. So that's not, is that what it's called? I forget what it's called. That's you guys will have to remind me, but I don't want them to be side by side because if one misses or whatever, I don't want them to get lucky and hit the other one. So I'll put these guys right here. Should be fine. We got an Air Force. We got the Griffites who can protect these if need be, and we're feeling good. So his army's pretty big, which is kind of indicative of the fact that it's probably an elf, mostly an elf army, which is good. Hopefully he doesn't have a massive air force, he didn't just go balls deep and get all the workings. So this is gonna be nice. We're gonna just punish these skirmishers real quick, and let's see. So, you know, I have the advantage right now. I can honestly just wait for him to come to me, so I'm actually just going to posture like right here and just wait, and we should be fine. And these cannons are going to do pretty good against those blade guards with the Hagbane tips. Hopefully, it looks like that was a swing and a miss there, so hopefully this other cannon will make contact. Oh my god, those are some of the worst shots I've ever seen. You guys see that? That's terrible. I guess they're trying, right? But anyways, the cannons can continue to rotate and shoot. We'll just keep Carl and the boys. We'll keep the Griffites, you know, rolling. And do we make any contact yet? Looks like we're still just missing hardcore here, but he's running back across, which is good. It looks like hopefully that allows me to get, you know, a shot before he rotates out of my line of sight. He's going to start shooting at some swordsmen, which is, you know, I don't know. I think they're probably just on auto shoot, but it looks like he might target the flagellants. So what we'll do now is just pull the flagellant line back a little bit. We'll posture these guys over. Cannons are turning to shoot, which is fine. Looks like we're able to get a few models. Let's see how fast they are. So 95 speed. So my Empire captain, I think, can catch them. He has 105 speed. Those cannons are just missing horribly right now. My goodness. So we're probably going to actually just switch it off and start shooting at some of these other targets over here. So he's got some Wild Riders with shields, so let's shoot at those. And let's, do we want to shoot at this Glade Lord? Probably at this Dragon. Those are probably decent choices. We actually got a few good volleys here, so I feel like that, you know, relatively speaking, paid for itself. So we'll just put the captain here, keep Karl Franz. The captain, of course, he's the foe seeker, and he might actually catch them right here, which would be interesting. So that Dragon is going to be scary, though. I think Karl and the captain can handle it together. So we'll go ahead and see how that all pans out. But, you know, I don't mind him wasting ammo on this Empire captain. That's fine. So you can see the Dragon's coming. And the problem with the Dragon is it's going to be a pretty hard target to hit. We did make contact with some of these Wild Riders back here, which is really nice. So let's actually, yeah, let's continue shooting at those Wild Riders. I feel like the Dragon, you know, isn't the best choice to shoot at. So do we want to shoot at these guys? Yeah, we can shoot at those as well. So I'm a little ADD with the targeting right there. But, you know, I don't mind going fisticuffs with this Dragon, considering I have heals and he doesn't. So we're just going to keep that cannon fire coming, and just hopefully we can get some good suppress here. Work on those Wild Riders, who will get absolutely dumpstered by these demis. So we'll just pull these guys around here. Just keep that cannon fire coming. I mean, he's taking pretty substantial losses now, so I don't mind sitting and trading with him all day with these cannons. You know, I have all the advantage here. So continuing, these guys have got to be taking a pretty big leadership hit. And these swordsmen, this is what they were designed to do, is just take this missile fire. Like, it's one of the least efficient ways you can use your ammo is fighting those guys. Karl and the boys are ready for sure. We do have the demis here, so I don't mind just kind of parking these guys right here and just waiting and seeing what he does. How are we doing on that group over here? So they're taking quite a bit of damage. This cannon, also, we're doing good damage to the Wild Riders, so very good. Let's go ahead and just advance our front line. And I don't mind fighting far away from the cannons, because I do have the Royal Altdorf Griffites to kind of defend, so we don't want to just sit and let them, you know, free fire here. So I could use a heal here, which wouldn't be terrible. So let's actually just go ahead and maybe do it right there. That should be fine. Great, because then, you know, the cooldown will be up by the time we want to use it again. We're taking a ton of damage right now as is, so might as well, right? And we're going to pull these guys and keep them just back a little bit. I don't want them to be, like, you know, pushing up too much and taking, like, all the focus fire of all these Starfire shafts right away. So these guys, we're just going to engage here, and we might actually use the flagellants to, like, go around the sides. I feel like that could be a pretty good use here. So we're going to do this. We're going to pull these guys here. We're going to send our heroic units here. Probably send these guys right up the pipe. These guys as well. And actually, what is he doing here? Is he just getting some war dancers in? Which is fine. So we'll pull these guys around. We'll stick these guys over here. We're going to go after his dragon here, use the 2 buffs, and we'll see how it goes. I think we should be able to take out that dragon pretty aggressively. So we're just going to keep the Altdorf Griffites back here. Man, these guys took a lot of damage there. So so far so good. I think it's going well. It's kind of hard to tell, to be honest. But that dragon is getting dumpstered, so Karl's doing a good job there. Let's go ahead and use the defensive buffs. And we can probably use a regrowth here in a second. I'm going to save it for just a moment. So the cannon is continuing to just take out his mobile forces here. So he does have a little 2-on-1 here, so I'm just going to keep it relatively close here. We're just going to switch both of the cannons here and just use these guys to screen there. And then Karl's going to need that regrowth ASAP. So let's go ahead and use that on him. And we were able to kill the dragon, which is great. So let's go ahead and just start punishing this Glade Lord now. And he's going to get regrowth, and you guys see it's healing quite a bit. So his melee core is doing really well, though. So we actually want to go hide this guy back here, use that ability there. And the Griffites were able to just absolutely demolish those guys. So that's a really, really good situation. Cannons are continuing to pressure here. Let's make sure to get these guys re-engaged. And Karl and his homeboy are going to do a really good job here. You can see the flagellants have a pretty nice wrap here. So what I want to get Karl with that, but we have a pretty important melee core right here. Oh my god, Karl Franz is just going ham on that guy. So good situation here. Let's reallocate our cannons, make sure they're being efficient. Obviously, we were able to break those guys, so let's actually just switch the fire here, get these swordsmen back. And actually, you know what? We can just leave these swordsmen as a defense, you know, in case some of those like really weak routing units come back. And we want to kill his general here. I think we can. So this cannon here can just shoot here, and this one can just shoot over here. That should be fine. And I think we should be able to kill it. And Karl Franz shouldn't be near his healing cap, so I should be able to kind of get some pressure. Come on, finish that bum off. So let's get the split our units up a little bit. The demis should be able to come in and clean those guys up. And this guy chasing these missile troops off should be fine. He's shattered. I think there's an additional penalty, though. But actually, you know what? I don't think it's worth chasing him down. So we get the demis in there. And back here, we do have the swordsmen protecting our cannons, which should be fine. And the Flagellants seem to be doing pretty well in that front line, guys. I'm not bummed about it at all. So we'll just continue to land there. We'll put Carl in this group, as we do have the 2 cannons focusing this one. So let's just focus this guy right here. And we do have some swordsmen coming back from out as well. And we can probably get one more nice heal here. I don't think they're at their healing cap quite yet, so we should be okay. But we'll see how it pans out. We'll get a nice little rear charge, and honestly, this should just shatter the rest of his forces. I think at this point, with the leadership being gone, we are good to go. So well played to my opponent. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I definitely, I love using Karl Franz. It just feels good, you know, to get to use those heroic units again. Like, you know, if I didn't have the regrowth, like the damage he took there, like it would have just been backbreaking, you know, like it would have just panned out really poorly. I think my opponent outplayed me a little bit in the front line. What I wanted to do was send in the Flagellants first to get that nice charge on these War Dancers, but I was just a little occupied with some other things. So very well played on my opponent's part. But still, the swordsmen held up well. You know, the Flagellants got in there, and though they didn't get the best like wrap, they were kind of like in the back. They still, you know, held their own. Were in good health and probably could have fought quite a bit longer. The 2 cannons were huge, because the Glade Guards and the Wild Riders could have been very annoying if I, you know, hadn't been able to get wraps on them and punish them. And also the Karl Franz, he hits like a truck, and he was able to just dumpster that Forest Dragon. So a lot of things went pretty well for me, I would say. But overall, very well played to my opponent. His War Dancers definitely performed quite well. But I think the big issue was the Wild Riders and the Glade Riders here. I think if he had like some Treekin would have been really, really good in his front line. If he had like, you know, Treekin and then also, you know, some stuff like supplemental stuff, he invested a ton in that dragon. And it definitely did not pan out. But anyways, well played again. Hope you guys enjoyed that cast, and I hope you all have an excellent night. Take care.